Hello everyone and welcome to It Goes Off. It's wrap of the round time and back in the seat. Had a bit of a spell last week was Grantley Bernard, and Grantley, we've just finished round 6. Talk us through all the winners and losers.
And we will start in Melbourne last Friday night. The Melbourne Tigers took it up and gave it to the Adelaide 36ers 96-66. Chris Goulding, 24 points for the Tigers. Johnny Flynn on debut, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists for the Tigers' new import. The Tigers wrapped it up with a 53-34 second half. Anthony Petrie with 15 points and 7 rebounds for the 36ers. The Sydney Kings, 65 over the Wollongong Hawks, 51. So the Hawks dropped their first game for the season. Corin Henry with 19 points for the Kings. The Kings, a great defensive effort all round, but especially in the second half, holding the Hawks to 22 points in the third and fourth quarters. Reece Martin for the Hawks, 15 points and 9 rebounds. The Townsville Crocodiles are still looking for their first win. They lost at home 81-72 to the defending champion New Zealand Breakers. Gary Irvin, 18 points for the Crocs. He's been getting the job done since stepping in. And for the Breakers, Daryl Corletto, 19 points on 7 of 12 field goals. The Breakers a significant edge in the paint with 32 points to 20. The Breakers backed up the next night on their very own little sunshine swing, and they beat the Cairns Taipans 73-54. Cam Trigar had 16 points for the Snakes, who shot a lamentable 18 of 67 from the field. That's just 27%. For the Breakers, Cedric Jackson had 20 points and 12 assists. Again, the Breakers with an edge in the paint, 38 points to 20. And finally, the 36ers picked up their luggage, repacked, and unloaded it on the Perth Wildcats on Sunday afternoon at Adelaide Arena. They won that game 77-65, a good comeback for Adelaide. CJ Massingale, first season in the league, 18 points in 18 minutes, 5 of 8 field goals, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. The Sixers closed this one out with a 24-8 fourth quarter. Matt Knight, 21 points and 8 rebounds for the losing Wildcats.
And it was an outstanding defensive performance also for the Adelaide 36ers, who bounced back from that atrocious result against the Melbourne Tigers, and the Perth Wildcats just 2 losses on the road. 5 games to start the season on the road. They're 3-2 at the moment. They went off the ball a little bit. And the Townsville CROCS, yet to register a win. They're 0-8. And part of the ramifications for that, you can only assume, was this week Ian Smythe announced his resignation. Ian Smythe, the CEO, very good man for basketball and been a fantastic contributor over an extended period of time. So going to be a real blow for the Crocs to not have Ian Smythe at the helm.
Not sure that the CEO should be taking the fall for a donut and a snowman.
That's correct. Congratulations to Cedric Jackson as well. He was the iiNet NBL Player of the Week, that 20 points and 12 assists. He is a superstar in the competition, and great to see.
And Ben Madgen, Player of the Month.
Ben Madgen, Player of the Month. Gordy McLeod, Coach of the Month, coming off that 5-1 record in the month, the first month of the competition. So congratulations to him. The Wollongong Hawks, they just came back to earth a little bit with that game against the Sydney Kings, where they also failed to shoot the ball. Anytime you're shooting the ball around 30%, it's going to be hard to win too many games, you would think.
It's going to be hard to put score on the board, isn't it?
Very, very difficult. Grantley, let's take a look at the NBL ladder. And at the top of the table, there it is, the New Zealand Breakers, 6-1, and just starting to look very, very impressive. Although they were winning early on in the season, their recent form is only getting better. Wollongong Hawks, 5-1. Perth and Adelaide make up the top 4. Sydney at 4-4. They've been playing some solid basketball. Shane Heal's getting the absolute very best out of the talent he has available to him. The Cairns Taipans 3-4. The Melbourne Tigers with Johnny Flynn coming in at 2-4, and there you see at the Townsville CROCS, it's hard to see how they're going to revitalise their season and figure in playoff action. But quickly, Grantley, Johnny Flynn, last Friday night, he was a sensation. Almost had a triple-double on debut. A little bit shaky from the field, 4 of 17, but
I think he missed his first 10, did he?
0 for 10 to start with, but it's just not about putting the ball in the hole. He's just distribution of the ball.
Just keep shooting
He's on the glass.
Make one.
Eventually he was going to come good, but a very good first up display despite the shooting percentages.
I think you'd take a lot of heart and encouragement from it for sure. When he goes close to a triple-double on debut, Yeah, I think they've probably got something to work with there.
Plenty to look forward to for the Melbourne Tigers with Johnny Flynn, and let's hope he sticks around in the NBL for quite some time. That's all we have time for this week in Wrap of the Round. Tune in for our Ticket Off section coming on a little later in the week, and of course the much-awaited preview show where Grantley and I have a look at the upcoming games in Round 7. We need to thank our sponsors, and it all starts off with our naming rights sponsor, iiNet.
Connect better.
10
and 1.
Spalding.
And for.
And Virgin Australia. And as I mentioned, Ticket Off, very special guest coming up this week, Chris Golding, who's coming off a fantastic game last weekend against the Adelaide 36ers, where he led all scorers with 24 points. He's going to be joining me.
And don't forget, community round this week.
Community round, that's right. We're wearing these ties because it's the SES is the organisation that's going to be the benefactor of the NBL Community Round. They do a fantastic job, over 40,000 volunteers throughout the country, and the NBL has got behind that particular program. All the players in Round 7 are going to be wearing the bright orange socks, and the coaches, I think, are going to be wearing these ties, and the commentary staff on television are going to be wearing these ties. So good on the NBL for getting involved and giving back to the community. Until next week, we look forward to your company on the #1 podcast in the world, and it's called It Goes Off.